It's just been absolutely incredible to see this transform from an old dying tree that might fall at some point in the near future to a bed that we can really look toward the future for edibles here on our place, which is super, super cool. Dean Family Acres. Alright guys, so we're back from Ison's. Hopefully y'all enjoyed some of that footage. We were able to pick up quite a few different things. Let's go over exactly what we got at Ison's. Alright guys, so we ended up with a black ruby plum, which we're super excited about. They actually were sold out online, but when we were able to come in person, then we actually were able to get one. Also a red globe peach with chill hours, that kind of thing. I think that that will work well for our location. And Tanenashi Japanese persimmon or Asian persimmon. That was the recommendation of Greg based off of the ones that they had, and knowing that we are already going to be able to have some hachia, and that I tend to prefer the astringent varieties just in regards to their texture, etc. But that will be those 3 bare root trees that we got at Ison's. Alright guys, we decided to plant the Tanenashi Asian Persimmon right here. We're approximately 10 feet from our frijole, aka pineapple guava. We're about 15 to 20 feet from our Azadi pomegranate, and our little Miss Figgy is about the same distance. I'm going to put that Tanenashi here. I think I'm going to put another apple on this corner, and then that way it should leave us enough space to put another Asian persimmon kind of in this area, so that'll kind of be the center point of this bed, and will look really, really cool in the winter time in regards to that fruit ripening up and just hanging orange all over on this side. And underneath we should be able to still see some of any color that we have behind us in the landscaping back there. Not a lot of that in the winter time, but again, just kind of always thinking about full season, and also thinking about how high up you want to prune or limb these trees when you're thinking about that, because you want to think about not only what you can see underneath if you're thinking about it from a landscaping perspective, but you also want to think about it from a how high up you want to reach to get fruit. I've determined on a lot of our trees, honestly, I think about 15 feet or so is a great height, and if you can kind of get it in that spread as well, that will be about perfect. Again, pruning is key, and trying to make some strategic prunes early on. The exception of some of that pruning might be on some of your pear and apple trees. It's just super hard unless they're on a super dwarf rootstock to keep them low at that height, especially pears here in the south. So here we go. Let's see if we can get this Tanenashi persimmon in the ground. Alright guys, so we got the hole dug, a little out of wind, but it's totally okay. And as with anything in the south, if you have a lot of clay, some of the soil is clay, some of this is honestly kind of a loamy, just from where we dug up this maple tree. If you haven't seen that video, I'd encourage you to check it out right here. It was pretty cool for us to take out this huge, probably 8-10 inch maple, dig up the whole tree, and create a whole edibles bed in this area. It's just been absolutely incredible to see this transform from an old dying tree that might fall at some point in the near future to a bed that we can really look toward the future for edibles here on our place, which is super, super cool. One of the things in regards to when you're planting and you have the soil that we have, we always want to try and use some pine bark soil conditioner. I know this isn't available everywhere, but if you do live in the south, a lot of the big box stores carry it. We traditionally get it from Lowe's, and 98% of the time I try my best to find a bag that has a rip in it. Don't be one of those people that ruin it for everybody else and goes by and cuts the bag with a knife to ask for a discount. You're ruining it for everybody. Please don't do that. Just if there is a bag with a rip, just say, hey, listen, notice there was a bag back there with a rip. It's possible to get a discount on that. Most of the time they're going to do it, especially if they see you there. I tend to try and make a loop through at least every couple of weeks. If it's during the season where they are putting plants on clearance, I try and go by there once a week, especially since my job is in the same town as the Lowe's. Anyway, so we're going to amend this soil with that pine bark soil conditioner, and it really helps with drainage. Another thing, a lot of trees and plants, you want to be careful. You don't want them in a really swampy area or a place that holds water. A lot of times that clay, especially the red clay, you dig a hole out, you're just building a bowl for water to stay in. So think about that and how you're going to do it, how high you want to put this up. That's one reason that we kind of made this bed elevated, or at least elevated on this back side a little bit. The front side not quite as much, but certainly the further we go this way towards our crabapple and a couple of other things, it definitely, the bed pretty much stays level, but the landscape around it kind of drops off just a little bit. Even if it's only 3 or 4 inches, it can make a difference in regards to the level and where that water is going to be, and drainage. Also want to think about that in regards to watering. This is a combination of the pine bark soil conditioner, some mushroom compost, some perlite, and a little bit of rabbit manure. Another thing you want to make sure and pay attention to is exactly where the graft union is on your tree that you're planting, whether that's potted or whether that is a bare root tree like we're going to be planting today. So we'll kind of talk about that now. Alright guys, so you see how these are packaged. They're doing really well. Although they've only been in a package for a day. Very nice looking roots. They've got the gel on them as well. You can see here, gently trying, oh, got one more string. Alright, you can see here. Alright guys, so you can see the roots here. Graft union right here. See the graft? And I would make the strong assumption that this is probably American persimmon rootstock, and this is Tanenashi. Kind of see the depth of where things are. You want to make sure that you've got some spacing here. You do not want to plant it too far up. Okay, so see you got your roots here. Definitely want to probably plant it in this range. It is kind of hard to tell because of the darkness of the wood from the gel that's on there. Okay, so let's get this in the ground. I would also make sure that your hole is big enough. We're going to expand this just a little bit, but always check your height. Now this has been dug deep enough, but I need to make sure that this level is going to be right in here. Ooh.
Height from what?
Right. Alright guys, so we were able to get that Tanenashi Oriental Asian / Japanese pomegranate in, and now we're actually going to plant something we didn't get from Ison's but that needs to go in this bed, and we've kind of been debating on where. As with all apples, you do want to have them in full sun if at all possible. They could handle some part shade for a short time during the day. When you say full sun, usually you're looking at least 8 hours of sun. In this location where we've got this planted, we should be able to get approximately, I would say 8 to 10 hours of sun during the summertime. Alright guys, so we've got here a shell apple, and this is on a M27 rootstock, which means it's like a super dwarf. So this should not get more than about 10 feet tall with minimal pruning. So one thing that's going to mean is it's probably going to be kind of a slow grower, which is fine. But trying to think about space, how would we want to use this edibles bed? And we've got the crab apple behind us there just for beauty, looking out the window, seeing those beautiful blooms. But I thought, you know what would be great? We got this edibles bed. This is also a super dwarf, and that'd be perfect size out here. Kind of put it near the edge. That way, if we want to put a taller tree on the back side here, we possibly could do that. I think that works well in regards to the Robinson crab apple back here, and then the shell apple on M27 rootstock. So I've got the soil amended with some mushroom compost as well as some of that pine bark soil conditioner y'all know that we love. And I actually got this graft from my good buddy Randall over at Flomaton Famous. He's in Flomaton, Alabama. And shell is one of the 2 apples that I repeatedly hear them talk about doing well. Now Randall's a little bit warmer than where we are traditionally. I think that he is a 9A. Correct me if I'm wrong, Randall, if you happen to jump on and see this one. But hopefully in regards to chill hours, etc., this will be okay. I know it can handle the heat and humidity, and I think a lot of times on apples and those kinds of things, you just need to find something that isn't going to get just absolutely blistered by the heat. So I know if it will handle southern Alabama, then it certainly should handle kind of the lower part of the upstate here in South Carolina. So let's get this shell apple planted. Almost like a bare root. It's actually grafted up here, so we're totally fine to plant right in here. According to Just Fruits and Exotics, shell apple can be grown in zone 6A to 8B and requires 6 to 650 chill hours, and they say it's self-fertile. According to them, shell apple is a refreshing experience that's reminiscent of a gentle breeze on a warm summer day. With its distinctive pearl-like appearance and robust flavor profile, the shell apple is perfect for those seeking to indulge in a luxurious fruit experience straight from your garden or yard. So we got our shell apple on the M27 rootstock. We got it planted here. Also kind of paid attention to where the branching is coming off of this graft. So kind of it's going this way, at least for right now. Of course, we'll kind of see how we want to prune this up, if we want to kind of do open center or central leader, especially with it being on this super dwarf rootstock. I'm going to mulch this up and also water it. Already watered it some, but just want to thank you guys for watching us plant this shell apple on M27 rootstock, and looking forward to seeing exactly how well this fruits, and hopefully crabapple next to it will do a good job of pollination as well. We're also thinking about maybe having one other super dwarf apple here on in this bed, but again, it seems like anytime you come up with ideas, you got so many ideas where you want to put in the bed. The bed's only so big unless you just really pack it in tight. Kind of thinking through that, but for now, this will be our one apple down here as we diversify this edibles bed. Certainly appreciate you guys watching, and if you haven't watched the other episodes in the series, I definitely encourage you to do that. You can check those out, I think about right there. and that way you can kind of learn a little bit more. We did add a stick next to the apple, so we can kind of just tie it up, make sure that we don't actually accidentally run over it, maybe keep birds from messing with it, that kind of thing. This honestly is a pretty decent branch from one of our other trees, but I would encourage it, if you can, you might put maybe a 2x2 or something like that, and try and put it in the ground before you plant your tree so you don't damage the roots at all. Again, thanks so much for watching, guys. Don't forget to like this video, share, and subscribe. When you subscribe, don't forget to ring that bell like. That's right, Mike Tyson did in the 1980s. Thanks so much, guys. Y'all have a wonderful and blessed day. Hey guys, thanks for watching this week. There's a video here on your right and a playlist on your left where you can enjoy some more edibles bed footage. Join us next week as we'll be planting some other items that we got from Ison's. Thanks so much.